Hello there, welcome to the Ramble Review, and today we're talking about Nun Massacre. The basic premise here is you get to know about your kid at a boarding school who's feeling kind of ill, and they ask you to come check on the kid. Once you get there, you notice things are a little weird, as in, like, it's completely empty, and there's a psychopathic knife-wielding nun chasing you and trying to kill you. So the goal here is to find a way out, and to also find out what the hell happened to your kid. That's it. You get most of the story from notes you find within the game itself, explaining what the kid's been going through and so forth at the boarding school. So you kind of piece it together all by yourself. There are a total of 5 endings, but only 2 really matter when it comes to, I guess, explaining or progressing the story. And that's it. The story itself is, I guess, okay for what this game is. It's nothing super deep, but you are interested in what the hell actually happened here. Why is there none here? Like, what the hell? Like, so you have some interest in finding out what the heck happened. The gameplay itself is one of those hide and seek from killers games. So the nuns will be roaming around the building, looking for you to kill you. At the same time, you're figuring out how to escape, and there are items you can find within the school itself to help open different places, like a hammer to take out wooden planks, or a rock to throw through glass windows to get through doors, so on and so forth. And that's it. The game is pretty helpful when it comes to letting you know when a nun's around. Like there's like a static that happens to let you know that there's a nun coming around. And depending on the difficulty, you also can find a radar which goes, which beeps when the nun's around as well. When the nun gets to you, if she kills you, you still got 2 other tries to do everything. And if you did anything, like say open a new path or whatever, you don't need to do it again, which is great. You could just basically start from where you were, where you left off. Basically, there's no save spots. You got to beat this game in one sitting, which is not too much of a problem, because the game itself is probably 30 minutes to an hour. I say hour because you're trying to figure out exactly where to go and what to do. And sometimes that can be a little bit of a problem because the game's layout is a little bit confusing, as some of the areas look pretty similar. So I found myself, like, I was looking around, like I knew where I had to go, and there's no map either. I knew where I had to go, but I could not for the life of me remember how to get there. So that ended up costing me death, because I ended up running into the nun while going around. Because you can run, and thankfully the stamina meter is actually really lenient. Like, you could run for a good long while, but if you run, the nun knows where you are faster, basically. So it's best to only really run when you're getting chased down. And I have to say, the scare factor in this game, when a nun gets you, does catch you off guard. Like, it scared the shit out of me a few times, because it's very ambient. The sound that makes a good atmosphere, a creepy ass atmosphere, because it's really quiet with only your steps making noise. With, of course, little jump scares. Now, that doesn't go but like jump scares, as in, like, you'll see something or you hear something and it'll throw you off and everything. So, like, it's really fucking creepy and keeps you, like, really tensed about this nun getting to you. Even though the game gives you the visual clue, like I said, of the static, it still creeps you out. Like, oh man, I hope the nun is not around. I hope the nun is not around. And then it does scream at you when the nun does get to you, and you'll be so panicked that you end up dying, because you could get away. And even because it's bandages, you can heal yourself too if you get injured by the nun. But you could get away, but you're so, like, it stabs you and the camera kind of freaks out, and you're so scared yourself that you end up dying. But like I said, thankfully it gives you more than one chance to get through this whole thing. One of the things I found pretty damn cool about this game is its difficulty options. Of course, you got normal, you got easy, you got hard, and you got, like, super hard. I can't remember the term they use for that version. Which, of course, super hard is, I believe you die, like, in one hit once a nun gets to you. And then nun's, like, really more aggressive and active. And there's a mode, like, called explore mode. So let's say like you've died a few times and you're kind of getting tired of hiding from the nun and kind of want to just do everything at your own pace and find every scrap you can to find a story and everything without to worry about the nun. There's a explore mode. I think I already said that, but yeah, there's an explore mode. And it basically gets rid of the nun completely. The nun's not around anymore. You could take your sweet time. This is even good, say if you want to tackle the hardest difficulty, but want to know the layout of where to go. You could see how the game is, like see where you have to go, where this and that. You could do a test run or have to worry about the nun at all. And you unlock the ending still too. You're not locked out of anything if you do explore mode, which like I said is fucking awesome. I love that they put this. They had in mind every single type of player in the game, like who wants to play this. Like that's really freaking cool. And there's even unlockable scenarios you get from, it tells you exactly what to do. So like one is like get through the game without dying once, and so on and so forth. Like it'll just tell you. And I didn't do it while in explore mode, but I did do it on easy. That I didn't get killed once and unlock the other scenarios. And so I'm guessing exploring is probably the same result. So that's cool. You can unlock the extra ones without having to like really freaking try basically. You can just play the game whatever you want and you unlock the other scenarios. The other scenarios are a factory, a circus, and a back room. Each have their own starter point, like it has their own little start off story, and there's even their own notes too to expand it a little bit. And each of these are also based on games that this developer has made before. It's not the game itself, but it's based off the game that they made before, which I found pretty cool. However, if you're expecting like a whole different like map and everything, you're gonna be disappointed. It's basically the same freaking building, just with different wallpaper. And sometimes sound effects, like the clown scenario has like a different type of music that keeps playing over and over again. That kind of adds to the creepiness. But there are new notes to kind of expand on, I guess, the story that's within that event. There's also endings too, but not multiple endings for these events. There's only one straightforward ending. And you get like a voiced scene that shows text and everything, which, you know, it's a nice addition for a game that is really freaking short when you think about it. Like the game itself, like if you know what you're doing, you beat it in like in 30 minutes. So it's nice to have these extra scenarios. But yeah, the only thing that's different is how to get out, because you start off in different spots, and all the items are in different areas too, and how you gotta tackle it is different as well. And these follow the same difficulty as well, so you could play it however you want, which is actually needed because the back rooms, to unlock it, you need to find these invisible items. And I think it would be a pain in the ass if you had to find them while being freaking chased by a maniac killer. So that's pretty cool. Talking about the back rooms, it's based on, well, the back rooms, a creepypasta, which is really interesting. There's even a YouTube channel that I watched that has done something really creative for the back rooms. I don't know this person at all and everything. I'll put the name of the YouTube channel so you can check it out. It's really freaking interesting. The killers themselves are basically the nun model itself, but instead of, like how the level has the wallpapers, they just dress the nun differently. So you got the clown, you got this weird creepy driller killer, and the back rooms one's even creepier because it caught me off guard. It's fucking invisible. Like I was like, holy shit, that scared the crap out of me. So yeah, visual options. I think this game looks pretty good for what it was going for, the whole VHS look. So it's kind of like that retro look. There's different filters. You could plain black and white, VHS, or PS1 or PSX if you want to call it that. And there's also CTR, like those big tube TVs, back in the olden days. I don't know if people watching this were even born when those were around, but it's those TVs that were really fat, like how I am, and really fucking heavy. I moved a bunch of those before, like helping people move and moving myself. But yeah, they have that you can turn on. I personally would turn the CTR mode off. It was kind of hurting my eyes, and I kept it to VHS, the filter, because with the CTR off and the VHS filter, you can read the text way better. I tried to read the text on the PlayStation 1 filter, and it kind of was hard to read. You have to really strain your eyes. The VHS one is the best option. You can also turn off the static, the noise, the jump scares. It's really customizable, which is another great thing about this game. This game really wants anyone who has any sort of interest in this to jump right in, which is fantastic. So yeah, if you don't mind those type of games that has you running away from the killers, totally helpless, this is not a bad pickup, and it's dirt cheap. Most of the new scenarios and stuff like that I mentioned were just put into this. It was like a brand new update. When this game came out, I think it was just a Nun Massacre and that's it. So it's really cool that they added this free stuff instead of you having to pay as DLC or whatever. If you have an interest in these type of games, you don't mind them, the whole running away from the killer, you know, being helpless and so on and so forth. There is a gun you can shoot at the killer to run, but with this game, you only can hold 3 items at a time, so you kind of have to pick and choose, and the gun at the end of the day does not come in handy. But that's the only type of defense you have: running away or shooting if you find the gun. But yeah, like I said, if you like this type of game, don't mind it. If the exploration mode sounds interesting to you too, if you just want to find out what the hell is happening, play it. It's dirt cheap, like I said. You can find it. I bought it for like on the PSN. It was like on sale, both for like I think $3 or $4. It's not a bad investment at all if any of this interests you. So yeah, I hope you didn't mind my ramble, and for gamer's sake, keep gaming.